Hey everyone, and welcome to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor. In this video, I'll be answering the question whether or not we are entering into a crypto bear market right now. Let's get into it. So Bitcoin is trading for $75,300, and the price is currently testing the lows from this past Monday, April 7th. Are we going to break down further? Are we going to $30,000? Is this the start of the bear market? How bad truly is this, and how bad is this going to get? Let's discuss everything. So the reason this is all happening, right? The news, there's always news to blame price action for, but the reason this is happening is because President Trump is going crazy with the tariffs, especially on China. This is from around 1 hour ago. President Trump signs an executive order officially raising tariffs on China to 104%. This is unheard of, 104% tariffs. This is essentially like black swan type of stuff for the markets. Now, we have been anticipating moves lower here, but all this tariffs shock and how kind of steep these numbers are is surprising most people for sure. And the market is definitely spooked because of it. Now, does this mean it's going to last for the next 6 months and we're going to go into a deep, prolonged bear market and we're going to lose, another 50-60% on Bitcoin back down, sub 50K? I personally don't think that's going to happen just yet. Right now, my main market scenario is the same thing it has been for a while now. I'm just expecting price to, in order to go higher, it needs the fuel to go higher, okay? And where is the fuel? The fuel is in the liquidity. Like I've been saying on my live streams and videos, the moves over here into 77K and even over here into 74,000, if we look to the left, there's really nothing here to actually support price and build a foundation off of and build the fuel for in a break of this current downtrend, right? We're in a very clear downtrend on the entire crypto market. Stocks now sinking. And it's really interesting as well, because if we look on the mainstream media and we look at what all the experts are saying on the TV, they're all now pushing the bear market narrative, especially with things like crypto. Meanwhile, price has been in a steady decline from the start of January. Right? When Trump got into the White House and he launched that Trump meme coin and the Melania meme coin, that was the top of everything that weekend of January 20th. And we've been sinking for the past 3+ months. And now the narrative is just forming that we're going into a bear market. It's a very, very obvious manipulative play to me, but many people will end up falling for it. And this is really just to confuse as many people as possible, to get them to panic if they haven't sold yet, to sell the lows. So what I am expecting here, I don't know when this bottom will happen, but I will confidently say I do expect it to happen before the 20th of April. All right, within the next 12 days, I am expecting price to end up grabbing this liquidity down here at 72,000. Understand that price can go deeper than $72,000, right? It can wick into the high 60s pretty easily. If we see some kind of crazy liquidation, we will get a very, very large spike down. And there's going to be people saying, Connor, you said 72K was the bottom. No, I'm saying that in order for price to actually have the fuel to put in the break of this downtrend and have some kind of sustained rally back into the 90s and $100,000 on Bitcoin, it needs liquidity to do that. So if we were to see a scenario where price wicks down into the mid 60s, but immediately comes back up above 72 and closes the daily candle above 72, that is taking that key liquidity. Yes, it went deeper than 72, but it just took the liquidity on a long wick down. And as long as we have a solid closure above, I will be convinced that that is the bottom of things, at least for the short term. Where it goes from there, I would expect to move back up here to at least $95,000, which is a very important previous swing high level. If it closes above that, then we're in contention and we can start talking about new all-time highs. But if we can't get back above 95K, that previous swing high, when Trump put out that news announcement about him making a U.S. strategic altcoin reserve with Cardano and XRP and all this type of stuff. Remember that manipulative pump that happened on a Sunday at the start of March? That's our previous swing high that needs to be closed above. And we ain't closing above that unless we grab key liquidity, in my opinion. So I'm still expecting lower here for Bitcoin as well as alts. So while you guys are here and paying attention, let's go over some altcoin levels that I'm expecting price to bottom out at. All right, so we're expecting a move on Bitcoin at least another 5% lower from current price. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe 10 to 12%. It wouldn't be a shocker. Anywhere in that region, again, we have to come and grab that liquidity, which starts at 72,000. So for Ethereum, we are looking for $1,300 to $1,200. I'm going to run through these guys. For Solana, I'm looking for 89, potentially 77. But to be straight up, I really don't have too much interest in trading Solana, buying Solana. But for anyone wondering, these are the levels lower, 89. And then there's a demand zone from 77 down to 68, which could potentially get tapped here. Dogecoin, I do plan on trading. So I already got filled on a Doge long at 13 cents, which happened on Monday, but I am looking for lower. I'm looking for closer to 12 cents on Dogecoin. All right, so 12 cents on Dogecoin. XRP, I'm looking for around 140 to 125. HBAR, I'm looking for around just below 10 cents to around 8.99 cents. And what else is there? Tau, I am looking for 140 down to 120. And for the most part, I mean, that's plenty of ideas for you guys to work off of. And remember, you don't need to be trading everything all at the same time, right? I would suggest for most people, no more than 2 trades maximum open. But in general, right, when prices, I think they will come down here, like I said, within the next 12 days. All right, I'm looking for a pretty nice bounce. And it could very well just be a dead cat bounce to, retest the bearish trend. But even if that happens, those are over 100% moves on most altcoins. So I think there's going to be a lot of money to be made here over the next coming, say, 2 weeks. I'm expecting a bottom to form. Watch out for the fear propaganda. Everyone will be shouting for the bear market when it will be the bottom, like it always is, because most people are just going with the wind and manipulated by the news. So anyways, quick one, guys. These are the levels I'm looking for. Stay ready. I think it's going to happen soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. So in this video, I went over my plan for the crypto market over the next 2 weeks. I'm expecting a bottom to form pretty soon. The fear will be at its peak. You won't want to buy. That's how you know it's going to be the bottom. We also went over a lot of levels for altcoins that I'm expecting them to bottom out at, demand zones. So it would be a good idea to mark those out on your chart. Even if you don't trade them, you can use this to get experience if you're a new trader, and you can see how markets do actually move, and you can see how supply and demand works, and we'll see if my zones are right. I have high confidence in them. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on all the notifications so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire. If you guys are interested, you can apply to the Crypto Empire Mastermind using the first link down in the description below to get more timely updates as well as direct access to me. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next video.